One. Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining the GKK webinar series, GKK Enable webinar series on resume gateway to your job. I see very good response. More people are joining in. Just give another 2 minutes and we can start. Please put put your guys on mute, and also would appreciate if you can turn off the screen sharing, because to save the bandwidth. Yeah. All right. So we just should start in about a minute. Steve, I see more people coming in. Good evening. I see some familiar faces. That's nice. Many of our graduates. Okay, so anyone else in the waiting room? 59 people strong. Great to see you all again. The last few months was quite scenic and interesting. We did a lot of talks on similar topics into government agencies, a lot of people, retrenched people, working people, and we also have what you call trained and placed and consulted a lot of companies and a lot of retrenched people. So from what all we have seen, Adam, there's a reason why I really felt that this topic needs to be done. Basically, is even after those talk sessions and also trying to reach out for awareness, and when we get resumes, especially those that have been retrenched or those are really looking out for a job, 9 out of 10 have the same anomalies, right? Anomalies in the sense that the same gaps, and it is quite worrying. So that's the reason I really wanted to do this session, but I wanted to have a strong impact on this. So that's the reason I invited Ms. Selvarani Paramasivam, who is the founder and CEO of agency Pekerjaan Synopsis Sdn Bhd. She's a leading tech recruiter. Thank you. Welcome to this webinar. Thanks for your time also, Ms. Selvarani, because she has a lot of experience in this area. And ironically, I think she also tried to recruit me many years ago, about 6-7 years ago. And that's how we connected, right? And we have been in touch after that. So I feel that she really knows the in and outs of how your resume need to look. And many of you who are in this webinar are basically those that come from the tech arena, right? Because most of our trainings are IT and project management and technical. So I believe that by bringing a person who's experienced in tech recruiting and also highlighting how to fix your resumes, at least the first step in your job search can be fulfilled. All right. So welcome, Selvarani, to this webinar. You need to unmute. Are you able to unmute?
Yeah, I can.
Yes. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for the introduction. Hi, everyone. Even though I can't see you guys, so just saying hello. So myself, Selva, and as Kajen said, we just launched our new company. So basically, it's called Synopsis Recruitment. So we hire technology talents and we serve basically like all industries. So if you're coming from a technology background, it could be anything, cybersecurity applications. We basically cover all kind of aspects in technology hiring. So yeah, if you guys are looking out for a better opportunity, probably you guys can, reach out to me anytime and I'll try my best to help you all.
Thank you. We need more empathic recruiters like you. Right. So before we go into this session, just a quick introduction for those who don't know about GKK and what we do. I think most of you are, I think close to 60% of you already know about this. We are one of the leading training providers for the retrenched workers and also in the industry. EIS is a scheme by Perkeso for those who are retrenched. As long as you have SOXO incentive, you can apply for it. Recommend you to go to the site gkkenable.com to register for the course that is applicable. What we are doing is, so far we have trained about 300 French people. I think 298. I think number is already 300 now. 99% of our programs are global certifications. I was just chatting actually offline with Ms. Selva about the relevance of certs, and she have a very good sharing. So that's something very much needed. And third is we have good partners like Ms. Selva and others who we work with. So we're able to place people or at least refer, right? We also run a Telegram group, 1,000 strong. There's a lot of jobs posted by recruiters and employers. We have 5-man coordination team helping to place people. We run a lot of webinars like this and certification training, yes, and of course, highly reviewed on Facebook and Google, right? So that's the background about us. Certification wise, across all domains, we have certifications we've been giving for the last 9 to 10 years. All right, so that's just a quick introduction. Now, the journey to the job, right? So we all think that, okay, so 9, 10 years, I'm in a job, then I want to find another job. Like what happened to me when I was 7 years in the yellow company in Cyberjaya. I think you guys would know what it is, the big yellow company, logistic company, a comfortable life, never felt any jolt. And then one fine day, my big boss from Bonn walks in and he says that, okay, whoever walks into the room, comes out with one envelope means you are retrenched. 2 envelopes means you are retained, right? So that changed. That was a shock, rude jolt, right? So you awakened from your sleep. 2000, 2009, 2000. That was a nice day. I can remember that. 2008. Yeah. So it jolted my mind. So my boss walked out with 2 letters. He got retrenched because he's a highly paid Canadian person. So Canadian Chinese, great guy. He's the one who mentored me. So he got retrenched. Uh, I was unfortunately not retrenched. Last time is I would have told guys had I got I didn't I shouldn't have got. Now I wish I would have got, because I would have got a 7 month salary, right? So I didn't get retrenched because my salary was low. I'm a Malaysian, so I was paid lower. He's an expat. So he got retrenched, right? But it kind of clicked in my head. So skill development, how to search for jobs. So that's how that was one of the initiative for setting up DKK also, about training, development, assessment, and all this. So I started revamping my resume. Those days, no one to guide. Only websites, monster.com, jobstreet.com have some article. Monster had some career center. They still have it. I went through it, right? So I thought it's going to be a red carpet journey, but it definitely was not. And but then I learned fast. I applied, and the next year I got a job in a bank, and they didn't retrench me when I resigned. I resigned, and then my life changed. So that was a bit of background about me. So I almost got retrenched, right? But many of you on this session are retrenched. You must understand what
including me.
we all have our life stories, right? Inspiration.
Yes.
But you must understand that's a chance to try something new. If that incident didn't happen, that trauma didn't happen, I would have just been in the big yellow company happily with a low salary. I may not be running a $5 million organization and working with great people like Ms. Silverani and all that. So I appreciate that incident. So now, yeah.
True. Even my case, like I got retrenched in my first job. I'm actually a finance graduate. I was working as a finance analyst, and they retrenched, and I moved into recruitment. And I found my patient there. 6 years I'm here, and I'm owning my own firm now. So retrenchment always is not a bad thing. I feel it's just a next stepping stone.
Yes, correct. So after all this and coming to that, even after so much of talks, and I mean, from last March to now, you would have seen many talks on DKK sharing and all. Then we're telling, and I get resumes from people. Of course, not the grads from our grads, because our grads are hardworking. Those who attended, they know. Grab driver, last position for the last 1 year. Preferred salary, 30-40% more than the previous salary. There's all these common issues, right?
Yeah.
Then I have to WhatsApp and tell them, please take this out, remove that, move this. So I realized I think we need to do more specifically. So that's the reason we are here. So there's no red carpet to it, right? So with that, I would like to hand over to Ms. Selva to share her experience and how you can fine tune the resumes. Basically, what do you call, and take this to the next step, right?
Right. So I think we actually mentioned what topics we can talk about mainly. So we will be covering like a few areas in this. So mainly there are few things your employer or your HR will be looking for. So basically your resume is supposed to be something that sell about you, tell the best thing about you before you present yourself. So we will be covering the first thing, right? Like what your employers will look for. So I do see a lot of CVs like 10-15 pages, but we can't find the main information that we actually require. So let's put it in 5 points. So I have it here. We will be sharing the information later in a slide as well. So the summary or a cover letter. So make it precise, make it simple. We see CVs that people write it, right? They mention about, I'm motivated, I'm hardworking. I mean, everybody know that that's what people say, right, when they look for a job. But we don't want to know about it. We want to know, what have you done in your previous job? How many years of experience do you have? What is the technical skills do you have? So in your summary, keep it short and simple,
Sorry,
probably
Selva,
about.
can you see the slide? Is it there?
I No, I can't see it.
Okay, wait. Sorry, Selva, wait 1 minute. I'll just finish. Wait. I'll just flash it. Okay, okay, sorry, go on, go on. Yep.
Right. Okay. Never mind. So yeah. So make it the summary. Make it simple. Probably you can keep it between 7 to 8 lines. Mention about how many years of experience do you have, and what are the industries have you worked in that. Maybe you can mention about what of job you're looking at, and how many year. How many people you have managed. So something very simple that the moment we see, we know, okay, this person is coming from this background, this industry. It will trigger us to know more about you, and then that's where we go into your profile, right? Your experience or education or whatnot. So next, followed by that, it's supposed to be education. Keep your education, again, your highest relevant certification, or your degree or whatnot. Certification that related, I guess most of you guys are from technology, so any certification, special certification, black belt or CISSP, anything, just mention that. And then followed by experience. Only mention the experience that is relevant, as I think Gajen said just now. Don't write Grab drivers or Food Panda. The moment we see that, we feel like, oh my god, what is this? I don't want to hire this guy. We don't even look into what have you done that is relevant to your profile. So it's okay if you have an employment gap in your profile. You can always mention that in the down bottom line, employment gap. What is the reason? You got retrenched, or you decided to take a break. But don't put your part-time job, your whatever you are doing, or your personal, your own business. Don't put that there if you're just doing for a short term. Followed then, next is your achievement. So anything that can sell you, basically. So any personal achievement that you have done in the company, or in when you were in the particular position, mention that. Any whatever migration project you have done, that kind of things. And when come to skills, it must match with your experience again. And you can even put scale, particularly maybe Microsoft Excel. I'm just telling the basic thing, maybe from 0 to 10, where do you stand in that? So any other special technical skill, if you have, you can mention that. So these are the 5 basic things we look into, and we think that, okay, this candidate can be somebody that we actually want to pick the call and talk to them. So yeah. Anything you want to ask about this, Gajin?
Someone asked how about part-time related to their skill. So can we say that if it's related to skill is possible? Let's say they were 6 months consultant.
Yeah. Okay. So I do receive series like where people do something relevant with their they're on a break, or they've got retrenched, but they're doing something relevant to their experience. Then yes, you can mention it. If it's relevant, as I said, if it is relevant with your experience, with your job, of course you can mention it. But something out of that, don't do baking or whatnot that you're doing as your patient, right? Don't mention that in your CV, because that's not going to help you in any way to sell you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So you want me to go for the next one? This is quite a lot of information.
Covered, right? Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
we are done with this.
I think there's something I also want to highlight. So I helped one candidate. He did training for me. So when he was applying for a job, right? So we put there 6 months consultant in ITIL and this one, and then put there we train companies. So it's related something related to his work,
Yeah.
but not actually the spot on the same work, but something related. So we covered that gap.
Yeah, at least, I mean, actually we recruiters, right, we are okay. I mean, to have a gap, it's normal. Even some candidate do take a break, like to try for a baby or to take care of kids. It's totally fine. Just mention that down there, saying that why the gap. We just want to know why, like why there is a gap, why you leaving a job just in a few months of time. So yeah, we will cover that later part, how you can put it. I will show some samples, so it can be good for you all.
Sure. Thank you. I think there's one question that's there. Somebody is asking, is it okay to include that we are retrenched in the resume?
Yes, it's absolutely fine, because then only we will know that it's not your mistake for jumping job. It is the company issue. So please do that. I even mentioned that in my CV that I got retrenched or department closed down. We want to know the actual reason. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so we go to the next slide.
Okay, I think there is one more question. How important to put educational detail? Okay, if it's a senior position, educated? Okay, it is important. But again, as I said, right, you put the latest, the highest qualification of yours. If you are holding a degree or master's, just you don't need to write from your foundation up to your master's, right? Just write your master's. That means we know that you have definitely completed the others, and mention more certification, relevant certification would do. So at least one degree or a master sort of certification, your qualification need to be there, and then followed by your cert. Yeah, you can mention about constructive dismissal. I mean, any reason, just be honest. Like, what is the reason? Even if you felt like you're taking a break, just mention that it's totally fine. But just make sure that your profile doesn't look jumpy, and then you mention that, oh, I wanted to take a break. It will backfire on yourself. Right. Okay. So let's cover the next one. What to include in your CV is pretty much similar with what I think I already explained in the previous slide. So education we covered just now, even certification I said. So employment history, we still do get CVs where people write their past experience first in the order, and then the current in the last. No, it was supposed to be in the reverse order. So put your current and then followed by your past experience, so that we know what is your highest title that you're holding currently, and from which year to year you are working now. So always follow put your current experience, and job title, keep it simple. We do see get CVs like with a very long job titles until we don't know what this person actually looking after. So let's say you're like operational manager, right? Just mention operation. You don't need to mention about other stuff that you are actually doing in your title. Keep it simple. And employment date, this is very important. The duration, right? There are people send CV, just mention the year. We want to know the month as well, because very good example, like let's say December 2020 to January 2021 is just 2 months, right? But when you put just 2020 to 21, it will look like 2 years. So we want to know how, from which month to which month you work there. So we know whether you are being like very jumpy, or you actually, at least spending like 2 to 3 years in a company. So do mention that month mainly. Responsibilities, don't write in a paragraph. We really struggle to pick the word. To be honest, according to research, right? HR or hiring manager only spend 7 seconds to review a CV, which is true. I probably just spend 5 seconds in a CV. So if you're going to write a summary, a huge summary, and I need to pick the word, what you're doing, I am not going to look at the CV. So put it into bullet points. 7 to 8 points is enough. It's more than enough. And then followed by your achievement. What have you done? Everybody know a typical IT support person what they do, right? But you need to mention what achievement have you done in that. Probably you clear more ticket than anyone in your team, and you got some award out of that. So I know that you are somebody who can actually manage more issues than others. Then it will help you to get, compared to other candidates, to get the job. So mention something which is not in the typical job description. There are people actually copy paste the job description into their CV responsibilities. When we read it, we know that. So don't do that things. And reason for leaving. Do mention in every company down there after you complete your responsibilities, but down there write your reason for leaving, why you are leaving. So we know that thing. And then skills again, your technical skill, and then the management skill, right? Also, you can actually put it in your employment history, like how many people have you managed before, or who you are reporting to. The reason, because these things, right, usually we don't come across in CVs, but this is very important. The reason, because when you mention how many people you are managing or which level you are reporting to, are you reporting to C level or chairman or committee members? We know your seniority level. We know how big is the team that you're managing. Global team, automatically we know, okay, this is a good candidate, this is senior. So most candidate, when come to skill, they just mention the technical skill, they forget about their management skill. This is very important.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's very, very true, because for me to move from that big yellow company to the bank, right, it's because of actually I didn't even apply for that role. They found me because they saw the skill. They were looking for someone who wanted to can do SQL deployment. They couldn't find a relevant local resource, right? So they saw mine, and then they kind of zoned into me. Right?
Yeah. Yes, because especially I do a lot of senior hiring, salary like, I mean, 25, 30,000 range, right? And I won't be looking into their responsibility, because we pretty much know their responsibility will be very much like managing team, dealing people, coming out with new strategies and stuff. But we straight away go into their achievement and skills. That will show how big is the team he's managing, what are the C-level people he's dealing with, what kind of new strategies he have come out with. So that would be what will make me to think, okay, do I need to speak to the person or not? Yeah. So that's very important. The management skills is very important.
Right. Thank you. I think there's some questions that have come in.
Wow.
Normally we do it at the end of the session, but I think since we so much of interest in the topic, we just do it as we go.
Yeah, can.
Okay. Different role than current. Which part of resume should customize and best way to compose?
I don't know where should I look. It seems like quite a long one.
I think the one before that first. If I want to move to a different role than current, which part of resume should customize and best way to compose? Yeah.
From current to what to okay, you want to move to different. Okay, let me check that. Okay, if I want to move different role than current, which part of resume should customize and best way to compose? I mean, if I think I assume this person is asking like a career change from what they are doing, right? Am I getting it right?
Is that so, sir? I think assume more is a different role.
Yeah, different role, basically like switch career, like switch different function. Okay, to be specific, project management, operation manager role. Well, there's nothing much to be done, but what you can do is when you write your responsibilities, right, and your achievement, you can mention if you have done anything relevant with operational manager role, like any part of that, if you have involved into that. If you purely have never done it, just when you send the CV in the email body, mention that you want to go for operational role and why you're actually interested on. Don't put in the summary or in your cover letter, because we tend to miss it, but put in the email body so that when people get your CV, they know that you actually want to change career, you want to move to a different role. Yeah.
That happened to me many times.
Is it?
Offering the same role, like enterprise architecture, so they say, hey, same enterprise architecture. So I'm like, no, I'm talking about something else, but I put it in the email. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So they know, like, okay, when I look into your CV itself, right, I will get a different perception. I will look it in a way that, if this person can do an operational role or not, then I will review that based on that. So put it in the email body, that would be good.
Right. Thank you. Okay, now the next one. Quite long, but I think something to read. Yes.
Is that important to mention about candidate vision, mission, objective of their career? No, don't do that. We don't read it. You can say all the things when you go for an interview. Just mention what job, what kind of role you're looking for next. Is it like a team lead or a manager or different skill base? So just mention that. We don't want to know about vision because we people like write everything, right? What all sort of things, but only when we talk we know what they exactly want. So that is not important at all. And what is the best method to summarize the experience such as company based and holistic based? Okay. Should the candidate state that their affiliations? Well, okay. Second question: what is the best method to summarize the experience? What is mean by like company based? I don't get it. Can you maybe elaborate?
Yeah, maybe you can elaborate that. And then third one, third item.
Okay, I think I missed the message.
So in summary, basically straight to the point, something
There are a lot.
mapped
Yeah,
to what the employer is looking, right?
yeah. Sorry, I can't hear you.
Is in summary, something straight to the point, something what the employer is looking for. And of course, the soft aspects and all that, when you have an interview, you can always.
Yeah, yes, correct. So just keep it like simple and precise. Probably like 2 to 5 pages is enough. I think there's next question that somebody asked about more than 8 bullet points, say about 10 to 15. No, don't go 10 to 15. It's like you're actually like copy paste your job responsibilities, like your job description that the company give. Don't do that, because no matter how, because you might, as a candidate, you might feel, oh my god, this point is important, this is important. uh, you just try to filter and try to summarize as possible and put it into 7 to 8. If you want to add more points, if you feel right, put it into the achievement part. Don't keep it in the employment history.
Mm.
Yeah. So talking about the salary, we will come to that later. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Oh yeah, so by the way, I have my very good friend and student, Mr. Shami. So he used JobScan and all these 8 systems, right? But
Right.
I think before all this is very important, what we are talking now, because they must understand what to put in, isn't it? Before system recommends.
Oh, yes, yes,
Correct?
yes. True, true.
So yeah. Hi Shami, thanks for joining, our supporter. Okay, yes. All right. Do's.
Okay, so the do's is this is very basic, but still a lot of people don't do this thing. Greet people. Like when you're sending an email or a message or whatever medium is that, do greet people. Say hi, madam or sir, or what role. Mention their name if you know, or their title, dear HR, dear hiring manager. I get CVs in WhatsApp and or in email. There is no uh, title, there is no message. Here is my CV. Like, what do you want me to do with that? I really don't entertain that things, because it actually show your attitude of applying for a job and how serious are you about. So greeting is very important. And state the role you would like to apply for. As I said, mention what type of position, because just now the person asked like they want to change career, right? So you mention what role you want to go for, so that we will review the profile based on the job that you're looking, and we can tell you whether it's something that you can actually go into or not, or what kind of certification or a training, or how you need to upscale yourself to get into what you want. So we do advise on that when we call them. uh, Font size, common one. Keep it simple, easy to read. uh, Please put updated number and email. I do get CVs without contact number. There is no way for me to contact you then, and then maybe it's not an updated email. Use a clear and concise language, so common keywords used in your job, no short form. This is very important. Probably you guys won't really bother much, I guess. What I mean by that is, so we can see it in a two-way, right? So let me elaborate it. Especially when it comes to tech, most of the recruiters and internal HR are not technical recruiters. They follow the job description. So when you mention a short form in your CV, for example, like DLP, IAM, or GRC sort of thing, when they put the keyword and search, they will be putting the full word like GRC, risk compliance, or they put like privilege ID sort of thing, right? Your profile easily will be missed when they search it. So DLP, let's say you put DLP, but when they search, they will be putting data leakage prevention. So your profile will not appear in my search. So you are missing the chance. But also in the other way, you need to mention the short forms when it required, so that when we see the CV, we know this person is specialized into that. So if possible, what do? You put data leakage prevention in a bracket, put DLP, and along the way, all the other sentences that they are using, just put DLP. So at least one word, put the full sentence or the full term, how you use it, so that when they do the keyword search, your profile appear. Yeah. So there are a lot of people that I have come across who actually miss just because of this thing.
Thanks.
Yeah. And the last one, write bullet points, again, no paragraph, the basic thing. So yeah.
I think on in line to that, there was a question asked.
Yeah. Do you okay?
Is
Is
it
it
okay
okay to keep the bullet points 2 to 3 line? I mean, just 3 line of bullet points. Is it? Yeah, can. I mean, if your responsibility is like very straightforward, you feel, then you just put 2 to 3 line and then just put achievement. It's totally fine, especially when it comes to juniors, right? Of course, you won't have much stuff to write, so keep it simple. It's okay.
Okay, important.
Yeah, so the don'ts, not put your picture. What type of pictures have you seen before in your CVs? Selfies?
Selfies, party going. I don't get put.
Shades? Yeah, right. I even got,
by the client, why is this guy like going for party, take pictures?
no, at least these people put their picture. I have people put Buddha picture, flower picture, that kind of Facebook DP sort of thing that people put God and flowers. There are people put that kind of picture as profile picture. Like, what am I going to do with that? So remove that thing. You don't need to provide picture unless later when the client say they want to offer you and then they request for your documents, right? Then you can give your pictures and all these things. And personal information, IC, birthday, height, weight, marital status, all this is not important at all. When you're giving all these things, right, you are actually leading your CV to discrimination. Like if you're putting a born in 1970s, automatically people think, oh, this guy is above 40 years, might not be capable to do the job. So don't make people to discriminate you by giving all this information voluntarily. And talking about PDPA, there are a lot of companies and HR, they misplace your CVs. So it's a PDPA thing, right? You have all the rights to tell a company you don't want to share all this information until they offer you, and then they can collect all this stuff. Yeah. And salary detail, don't put your current expected salary. Even if you are retrenched, don't put your last round salary. They don't need to know. Let them gauge you based on, let them think how much you will be earning based on your experience, your achievement. Because again, as I said, if you put your salary, it will lead to discrimination again. People think that, oh, this person is too junior or too senior. Probably you are a senior, but you're okay to go for a lower pay as long if it's a different job scope. So don't put your salary details, reference details. Also, you can provide when they ask later. Long job responsibilities. As I said, don't write too many points. We just want to be straight to the point, like what you guys are trying to. I mean, what guys have you done? And length of the resume, right? So keep it. If you're junior, less than 5 years of experience or 7 years of experience, two-page CV is good enough. And if you're senior, maximum 5 pages. Anything more than that is actually quite a lot. And you don't need to attach any kind of certification in your application. Just give your CV is enough. The certification, everything, when they interview, you can provide also. So because in your skill and your qualification, you already mentioned the cert, right? That's good enough. And applying for multiple roles in the same company. So this is actually really a bad stuff to do because especially when it comes to recruitment, we all work in a team. Like we have like 5 6 recruiters in the same team looking after different specialization. When people become so desperate, they just want to try their luck to at least get one call from the company. They end up apply for all the jobs, but we do speak to each other and we're like, who's this person, blasting his CV everywhere, and we think that this person is so desperate and we will not call them. So just particularly if you're going to apply for one job, just apply for one and wait for them to respond. If you didn't get response, try to maybe reach out anybody from the company LinkedIn and say that you actually applied for this. Can you ask their respective person to call you or reach out to you, sort of thing. But yeah.
Yeah, I saw some of the question. I think some of it not directly relevant to this. You see, if the recruiter asks you and then for the salary and all, that is the next stage, right? You're talking to them. Here is your resume, what goes out to the recruiters, or you're sending to somebody applying for a job. So you don't need to put this stuff. This is where I get turned off when I look at it, because for me, I want to connect them and place them, especially those who are retrenched. I know they're struggling, but with this, you are eliminating even the first chance of putting your foot into the door, right? That's eliminated because you're already at a disadvantage when they quickly look at it, right?
Yeah.
So back to Selva. So
yeah, so I think that's it. And wow, there's a lot of questions. Where did we are we going to go through the question or how?
I think, yeah, let's cover a bit more and then we can go in when you are
So
fine.
I think they asked, what is the reason not to put picture? I think I told you why. And if I have 10 years experience, can my CV just be, I think, one page CV? That is depends. If let's say you worked with only 2 companies in the 10 years, then it's good. You can keep it in one page. But if you worked like 3 4 companies, maybe keep it like 2 pages at least, so we know what you have actually done in those companies. Talking about keywords or something, spelling is British English and American English. If I came across when I scan through job scan and I fail detect the keyword. Wow. I mean, you don't need to go until like British
You need to
English,
take that
American
offline,
English.
Lashami. That one offline.
Yeah, offline really. But no, what I mean by spelling is, okay, let's say big data. There are CV like BUG, bug data. It's obvious spelling errors, right? So that's what we are talking about. So the American British it's not a deal. The SZ is not a big deal at all. Okay, and that is important to put CGPA. No, you can choose not to put the CGPA. It's not important. If some companies require when you apply, they will ask for CGPA. They mention like CGPA must be above 2.5 or 3. Then you can. That's why I said you customize your CV according to the job that you apply. If the job it mentioned that the CGPA must be this point, then you just add the CGPA in your CV. Other than that, you can ignore that. Okay. Right. I think repeated question, if it's refused.
I answered the last 2 for you.
Yeah. Is it okay to
The rest you can set.
Is it did we cover the refuse starting last salary? Okay, yeah. I think we are done.
Yeah. I think okay, the question about recruiter asking and this one depends, right? I don't know, Selva. What are your thoughts?
Which one,
Is it okay to refuse stating last round salary when a recruiter asks me on LinkedIn message?
If okay, so it depends. Let's say they are asking you on the first I mean before even talk to you or what, you can refuse. You just can ask them, before I share that details, can I know what is the role that you have and what is the salary range they are paying? So usually we will be open to tell, okay, this role we have a security manager and we are paying about 12K. Is this something within your budget? Within what you're looking at, and then you can say, okay, if it's something yes, then you can say yes. If it's not, you can mention, oh sorry, I'm earning more than that, and you can, yeah, it's again, it's your personal choice of giving, right? Usually I mean, maybe because I've been in the industry, the moment I see a CV, I know how much probably these people will be earning, but only when I'm on the call I ask them, do you mind share with me your current and expected salary? But of course I will share what the client is paying, because you have the right to ask how much the job is paying you actually. There are maybe people might say, oh, we can't share, client budget, but you have all the rights to ask. And they should be able to tell you, at least in the message, we don't sometimes share the client detail, but when I'm on the call, I definitely will give them the details.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, and these keeps, but I notice a number of headhunters are to provide current salary. Yeah, again, as I said, when they ask you to give the details, right? I do receive messages from recruiters itself saying that, oh, because I put security, right? Back then, my specialization, they think I'm doing a security job. And then they send me, oh, Silva, we have an opening into security. Can you provide below details with your attached CV? They don't even ask whether I'm looking out, what specialization I'm actually, what is my job scope. And they send a message randomly asking for my personal details, like my salary, notice period, everything with my CV. I don't respond to that. So give the detail only if you spoke to the recruiter, they have explained about the job to you, what is the company and what the company is paying. Okay.
I think the next two I have already answered for you.
Yeah.
I think the last, there's one question. You just quickly.
Can you advise on how can I convince the client on why I deserve the expected salary? I do
Okay,
get
that one
this.
they have to pay you for that to teach you. No, just kidding. Or maybe that should be another topic by itself. For
Yeah, that's actually a big topic.
Yeah, I think we should take that as a topic.
We call it basically offer handling. There's another way of doing it. So that's where we recruiters comes in. We help you with that. 90% of the times, my candidate get what they wanted.
I think it's also the value and how the negotiation, right?
Yeah. Yes. And how you actually sell yourself again during the interview. And you have to explain why you deserve that. You can't be asking people straight away, give me this, right? You have to tell them why you deserve it.
I think that one, let me copy that. We can use that as a next one of the topics for future.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Must put reason for leaving for each company. Yes. As I said, I had one of my ex-colleagues, she left she's in a fourth company now within 5 years. Definitely a profile look jumpy, right? But the thing is, two companies retrenched when she joined, and then in few months time they closed down. So again, it's not her mistake. She has to mention each of her experience. She have to mention why she left the job, so that I know that two companies only literally she changed. The other two actually the company retrenched her. So do mention in each of your history why you actually leaving, the reason for leaving. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, you can give your CV in PDF instead of document, because there are a lot of apps actually can change a PDF to document again. So yeah.
Yeah, a lot of online apps they can convert also.
Yeah, but the reason why recruiters ask for documentation, document base is because not to use your personal information, because when we send to our client, right, we do not send your original CV. We format according to our company's format. So that is why we need something in Word so we can copy paste the information. So that is the reason I say don't give your too much personal information in your CV. Just put the basic ones is enough so that your CV is safe.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
All right. So common mistake, the first one we already discussed, irrelevant working experience, part-time, unprofessional email address like babygirl123@gmail.com or batman123@gmail.com. So don't use that kind of email, especially if let's say you are in a mid-level hiring or even juniors, right? When we see that, we get a bad impression, like, is this person being serious to use this kind of email address to apply for a job? So if possible, what do you do? Create an particular email address, create a new email that you only use for your career page. So if you're applying for a job, to see what feedback the company is giving, what companies you have applied, and also to avoid applying for the similar role again. So try to have one particular email just for your job search, and avoid sending resume link, social media, WhatsApp. I mean, it's a bad sign. Like I do get CV in WhatsApp. There are people who ask me, is it okay if I send WhatsApp? So that's just a good gesture, but you don't come message straight away somebody because you got their number in LinkedIn or what, hiring manager, HR, and then just drop your CV there. It's an easy way that you want to do it, but we won't entertain that kind of things. Spelling, grammar error, which we spoke about it earlier. Yeah.
Thank you. I think there are a few questions.
I had encountered recruiter. Wait, going to edit the CV before it submit it to the hiring manager. Yeah, as I said, I have edited CVs to my candidate, but again, you have the right to ask them what part they're going to edit. Because I do edit because sometimes they repeat a lot of stuff together. So I will tell them, okay, this is the part I'm going to edit. But before I send to my client, I send a copy to the candidate and ask them, is it okay with them, if in this way. But most of the time, the recruiter can actually tell you what details they want them to remove. I know particularly this one recruitment firm, they do that a lot. What they do is they change your CV according to what's the client requirement, the JD. So basically, so it will look like a very best match, right? That's how they secure the interview. But the candidate is the one going to struggle later because the recruiter edited, but probably there's something that you have never done it before. And then when you go for an interview, they ask you a question you can't answer. So you have to make sure what part actually the recruiters is editing. If possible, don't let the recruiter to edit. Ask them what changes you're supposed to do, and then you do it yourself. So you know what they actually submit about you to the client. Right. Can I say
Yes.
looking for a higher salary is reason for job change?
Yeah,
Even though I like.
I think I'll start first, then you can add this one. I did this before. It worked for me 2 times.
Sure.
Don't mention about higher salary first, because then they're thinking, okay, this guy calculative, whatever. Of course, because mine was 7-8 years in the company, so I want to change, right? I want another challenge. Of course, the other benefit of it is we're getting higher salary, right? And we negotiate for it. So that's how I did it. Selva,
Yeah, do not mention that. It's a bad sign. Maybe you just say career progression or what. But I mean, anybody want to look for job, one of the main reason will be the compensation package. But I usually ask my candidate like, okay, you want a higher pay, but did you spoke with your current company about your, your increment or what? How did they respond? Very simple logic. If your current company that you've been working for years is not willing to give you higher pay, a new company that don't know anything about you, why do they need to pay you more, right? Because that's what the company will be asking. Like, I don't even know this guy. I don't know how he will perform. How can I just give him a 30% increment? That means, why don't you speak to your current company? So, so that kind of things will be coming up. So if you have a valid reason, probably your company is really doing bad. They got no budget to give an increment or what. So that is the reason you're looking for a job. Yeah, that's something that you can explain later, but don't put it as a reason for leaving in your CV.
okay.
How can irrelevant working experience and part-time job in CV become a mistake? Well, again, as I said, right? If you're being if you're very senior, if you put that, it's not going to affect your profile much because you already have a very good 10, 20 or 10, 15 years of experience in the past. But imagine you are just about 2 years in the career field. I mean, in the professional field, and two companies you changed, and then you put a part-time job after that. You will look like very jumpy. Your profile will look like somebody don't know what you want with your life and you're just trying whatever out there. So as a recruiter, right, we will be reluctant to represent you to the client because it's going to be a risk for us. If we place you, you might leave in few months time. So that is the reason we ask you not to put that. Right. Okay, I think I answered that.
Yeah.
Is it a must to mention most 10 years experience? What is that mean? Like more than 10?
The working experience, is it?
Okay, if it, I don't get the question. Mention more. Do you get the question?
Are you mentioning that it's a must to mention a number of years of experience? If that's the case, should be right. From what?
Yeah. I mean, in your summary, you mentioned that because if not, we have to calculate from when you started your job and then until now. So when you put that, we know, okay, this guy got 10 years of experience, quite a senior guy. So it's easy for us to assess within that 7 second. So keep the 7 second theory in your mind and then do your CV.
Right.
What expected salary for fresh graduate, especially? Okay, this is very, this question is depends on what,
1,200
yeah.
3,800.
So it's again now, are you coming from finance or IT? It purely depends on what's your degree and which background you're coming from. So typically average, if you talk about, I would say 2.5 to 2.8. Now 3K is still quite high. Not every company paying.
So don't scare the employer by putting the expected salary 4,000.
Straight away get rejected.
They get scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very subjective.
I mean, not undermining your value. You may be valuable more than 4, 5,000, 10,000. We understand that. But
Yeah.
like I said earlier, to get your foot in the door, to
Yeah.
get that interview, because maybe that interview, there are so many people contending. It's not influenced. It's not referred. People are they're just trying to find out that person. Like what happened to me? There's no way someone from logistics can go into banking. It just happened because they needed someone with civil experience. They found that civil thing and then they interviewed me. They liked me. They assume that I can survive in a pressure cooker environment and political environment. Which what happened? 6 fellows from my company joined. Only I was the one lasted after 6 months. All ran away because they couldn't stand the politics. Because we come from an MNC. Imagine going into a DLC, right? So
Yeah. Oh, yes.
it just
Yeah.
happened, right? So it could be you also. So it's all you have to try first. So that's the whole thing.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. So
Can go
coming
to
to
the
the
next.
next. Yes, this is nice. CV sample. Okay.
Yeah. So I have two CVs, good CVs. One with a one-page CV. I couldn't put it like full CV, so I put it like up and down, top and bottom. So this is actually one-page CV, quite a junior person. So if you see on top there is a very basic summary, and then the person information the person only gave that. So on top is actually the name, yeah, and then here is the phone, email address, and LinkedIn. That's all. And then the skill with the scale and also the skill name. And on the other side, this is sort of like a fresh graduate, so that's why the education background they have explained quite a lot. What course have they have done, whatnot. So that is basically the education background, quite lengthy. Because on page CV, maybe can you go to the next slide? So this is the bottom part. So this person only worked in one company. So if you see the title is there, company name, the duration, and only about 4 points in the description, followed by award, additional activity, certification. So it's a very complete one-page CV, very simple and precise. Yeah. So it's for sort of like fresh graduate or junior with 2 or 3 years experience and below. So you can just keep it in one page. Yeah. Next, can we go to the next? Yeah. This is actually my CV. I'm sharing here. So I just mentioned my name, address. I just put Selangor. They don't need to know where I come from. Selangor is good enough. Contact number, my email, notice period, and my LinkedIn profile. A very short introduction about how many years I've been in that, what area I've covered, and my academic qualification, the latest, my MBA and degree only I stated, and the technical skill, what job portal I've used before, and the accounting system, followed by the experience. So I put just part of that, which is my company, my title, my specialization, my duration, and followed by my my job responsibilities. Next page. Okay, sorry. The next page, please. Okay. So yeah, sorry, before, yeah. So the second one is my another previous company, followed by my title, description. So downward, you can see I put my achievements, because for our job, right? Usually the companies need to know how much sale we have made, how much profit we have made for the company, and how long it took for me to do that, and what are the awards I have won before. So I just put those kind of point, because this is very important for recruiters when we want to get a job in a good, well-known company, right? So this the part is very important. There's going to be a selling point, and my reason for leaving. So explore new working environment. So yeah, simple and keep it this way. Right. The bad CV. Maybe somebody can tell me like what's bad in this. Probably we can see the comment.
Yeah, I like the thinking. Yeah. Can anyone comment? I think the best person, expert, job scan expert, Mr. Shami. Could you share? Let me also try and guess.
Yeah.
Objective, somebody
There are
else.
few things bad in this.
Work experience. Okay.
Alignment, not readable, lengthy paragraph. One more. Essay, yes. Messy to read, formatting. You're all missing one main point.
No
There's
name.
one main point there. No, name is there. I mean, I hide the name though.
Right.
I hide the name. Photo bullet point. No. Okay. Maybe I can tell the, what is that. If you look into the duration, you remember that I mentioned the month when you joined. If you see in the CV, it's only got the year 2016 to 2017. As I said just now, down there below 6 to 7. I don't know whether it's 1 month or 1 year, right? December or January or when. So because it's a huge impact, right? It can be 2 years, it can be 2 months. Yeah. All right. So the next one. So what's bad in this?
Wow, this is crazy. Just one long paragraph. Essay.
This is essay, not CV. Karangan. Yeah. So I mean, it's just too long, and it really frustrating to see this kind of CV. I mean, like, where am I going to start to read? Which point do I need to focus on? I just don't know. So when we get CV like this, we reject. We don't even read it. So don't do this mistake. This is the reason I tell, don't put like 10, more than 10 points and all. Keep it 6 to 7 is just enough. All my good candidates that I place, their CV is very formatted, very nice to read. For researcher job, I think it's okay. No, I don't think so. Even researcher, we will be asking to give a sample work, right? So you can give a sample work, but not in your CV, you put this kind of things. All right. Okay. Maybe the next one. Looking for it. Okay. What's bad in this CV?
Yeah, I got a brain freeze now looking at this. Cannot think further already. But assuming this guy never worked before, right? Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, punctuation. Correct. I'm good with people. PPL.
Yeah. So so I think more you guys got it right. Like it's like a standard 6 student writing an answer for a question in an exam. What do I offer? I'm good with people, like that kind of things. And then the last line, I hope you think I could work at a job. I think I would. Repetitive word. So it doesn't attract us at all to even consider this candidate, to even have a call. So yeah.
Okay, I think someone asked an interesting question. How about hobbies and skills? Do we need
Okay, talking about it, hobbies, right? I don't think it's relevant, especially if you're senior. You already have more information to talk about, more achievement, more accomplishment, projects. So, do you think companies really bother about hobby? Like, let's be honest, no. We don't know. We don't want to know like what you do in your free time. When in interview, probably you can tell if they ask you like, what do you do when you're free? Like after back home, then you can tell what's your interest, what's your passion. So it's not relevant. Don't put your hobbies. Only the fresh graduate do that with somebody 6 years experience. It look kind of like childish. Yeah, don't.
Yes.
Who got very good? See,
This guy lah.
who? Huh?
Tatara.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yes.
Yeah. We are done. So I just give like some information. That's our LinkedIn profile. We have Instagram. That's my personal. So our Instagram is we will be sharing a lot of memes basically in our stories. Just your stress buster. So the typical office related memes and whatever current trend markets and whatnot. So follow us in LinkedIn mainly. All our updates are there. Even we give 1,000 ringgit for any referral. If you refer a candidate and the person get job in our client with our client, we give 1,000 as an incentive for the referrals. Yeah. So this kind of information will be in our LinkedIn. So do follow us.
I think I'll be your number one customer. I got a lot.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
But thank you everyone for the time. But any particular questions please, even after this, you can actually email or WhatsApp. I would really appreciate you can drop a review on Facebook. We are an SME. We just want review on how do you found it. I also put my number and email. So if you have any topics, I found one topic there. How do you negotiate salary, better salary or something like that, right? So hopefully, I think we should plan a topic like that soon.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to share this information. I mean, I don't know you, because these things you guys don't really get from people, right? And it's something that you actually struggle to. I mean, maybe you really deserve it. Even 10-15%, you find it very difficult to negotiate. So what we talk about negotiation is not only about when you look for a new job, but even with your current company, when you have your performance appraisal, you can always sell yourself, right? Before you go to a new company, try to sell yourself in the current company. So we do help. I mean, I'm more than happy to share my experience and my knowledge in this.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very
Thank
much,
you so
Selva.
much,
Thank you,
everyone.
everybody. So we just need your help to drop a note on review on GKK Consultants Facebook, and from there we can what do you call give you the review. Sorry, the tech, right? I think many of you want the tech so that you can revamp your resumes, right?
Yeah,
And also
yeah.
take a note, resume workshop, etc. We will keep that in our wish list, and we can plan that also. Thanks a lot, Ms. Selva, in your busy time. I really appreciate it. Take care, everybody.
You too.
All the best.
Bye, everyone. Bye bye.